Hello, this is Vance, and this is Thursday, January the 5th, 2017. These are the CL trades for today using the slow hand method for price action. I'm trying to put this in here while I'm talking on the microphone here. Just put this trade on. It's 3 contracts, and I look at this as a test of this bottom. Now, we've already revisited it twice. I thought it might have been a trend down, but really, it's, yeah, we've got some lower highs through here, lower lows through here, but it's really stopping up. So it's really more like a bit of a range dropping down here. So that's what I've got. And so I'm going to put my first contract, and it's pretty tight. So I'm going to put my first contract off at 74. And that's it. Okay. I went off of this one here. It's really kind of like a first entry. But it's not really a first entry. The strong move down here, find support. This is a fairly strong bar. I dropped an order on here because this was, but now it's pulled back. So if you didn't get in on this, if it sets up as a second entry, it would still be if we hit this more resistance, it would be a place to get in. So I mean, it depends on this how this bar closes. So that's why I got on this particular trade. More along the lines because of the double bottom. I don't want to talk about it being a second entry because it doesn't look like one, because it doesn't set up from the first entry. Where's the second entry sort of thing? But what really matters to me is from the standpoint is that price, attempted to go down the first time, fails a second time off of this micro double top here, comes back down, and then really kind of turns around. And if you look at it from this perspective, if you look at all these, this should have kind of pushed prices more down further, maybe retest the low. So I'm thinking that this could be the start of another move up, leg up, particularly that's right at the open. But I don't know. I think that's the sense of it. That's why I've got this trade on here, and I'm going to sit with it. So it's, in fact, I could probably put it up a couple of ticks below this one. If price comes back down here, I think it'll be a failed trade, so that's why I'm willing to pay the price for that. So even if the low is at 53, we could probably put it a couple of ticks below that. So like, let's at 51. If price comes down here, it's going to be a failed trade anyways, because if it comes down to this area, my belief is it's going to go down and really test this bottom. Now it's set up as a second entry long right here. So first entry, second entry long right here. Yes, I was a little bit early on it, but that's because of what you heard my reasoning was. So I'm going to sit with this and see how it plays out. Looks to be a little resistance here, this channel, from the micro double top, from between 75 or part, let's say 77 down to 72. We're in it right now. We're at 72, so it's got to kind of break through this in order to get 77. And then, obviously, beyond that, if this is resistance here, needs a couple pushes to get up there. So I've been in this trade for 10 minutes now. Taking a while to work its way up, but I think it's still going to get there. So I'm sticking with it. I've got my, I'm convinced here we need other buyers to come in to push it higher. It's getting resistance right here, so I'm going to move this up to break even. Okay, this is where the patience comes in. Why am I sitting here waiting for this? It's only a matter of a couple of ticks. I'm at 72.77. Well, it's not because of this particular trade. It's just a single trade. It's about all those other trades. If I don't discipline myself to wait for it to hit my target or hit my stop, what happens when I'm in the trade the next time and the next time? The fact of the matter, this is just one of many, many trades in a long career of trading. So if you're willing to shorten your targets, then it means that your entry wasn't right. And so therefore, you weren't following your rules from that perspective. So that's why I'm sitting here with it. Even though, is this leaving money on the table? It got to 75, it's at 77, it's pulled back to 71. Well, no, I'm sitting with this because for every trade that you pull out, and I don't know that, like the thing is that markets can change. Every trade is unique. Everyone is unique. But if I don't follow the rules, that's the only thing that I have is the rules and as my trading rules. And that should be for yours as well. Otherwise, how are you going to be able to tell down the road I mean, you're journaling it, of course, but down the road, how you're going to be able to tell whether or not your method is successful or not profitable. Because you can write down why you took the trade off and why it wasn't successful, and you can read all the indicators or take all the statistics you want. You know, maximum adverse excursion, maximum favorable excursion, etc. But the point is that if you don't book the profits, or if you don't stick with your original rules, you'll never know whether your method gives you the edge and the confidence of the next time to enter into the trade. For every trade that you cut short, you'll never know whether or not that trade was the one that was able to make your profitability for the day. That's why. I hope that explains it. Okay, my second target was taken out, and now I'm just trailing the runner here. I didn't talk about it when it happened. I'm kind of talking with, I'm chatting with somebody else right now. And so I didn't get a chance to talk about it. But marked these, what I thought was a measured move, and it's kind of broken through that. So turns out that I moved my stop to a couple of ticks inside 26. I mean, the measured move is really at 31, so I moved it inside that. The inventory report is 5 minutes away, so looks like a pretty strong move. And I'm ahead 43 ticks on this. So, okay, I have to add this audio in afterwards. I was not aware of that my microphone was turned down for this part, so I'll just add this in here. This was I didn't put in the first one because I was talking with somebody else, and I didn't realize I hadn't turned on the recorder. So when my first target got hit out of this, and then it moved up, and then my second target was hit, and so now I'm this is just the runner that's on this trade. So it was just kind of a schmozzle because I was with a friend of mine talking, and I missed this part of it and wasn't able to scramble and get this back here because it happened while I wasn't paying attention. Anyway, we'll just let it go and see how this works out. Okay, this is toward the end of the trade. I got taken out here at 98, and it comes back and takes my stop out. Doesn't quite get to the what I was expecting at 54.26, and this is just a little bit before the DOE report. So that was for today, for this morning. This was the first trade I had, and I didn't put another one on until later on. So I've got recording of that one too. So that's where I was hit. And I'll show the other one. Hello, this is Vance, and I'm in this other trade. It's at the bottom of this channel. Now, we've had the news already today, and price traded down to this level. And because of that, we had kind of a break of a channel. Now, you have to realize that this move down here is when the news came out. It drove way down here because of the news-based event. And now I think that we had this range. I was looking at going long here, but I wanted to see after this strong move down. Price came down here. It really kind of broke the channels. I mean, it doesn't really test the low, but my stop is below the low of the day. And so as a result, I felt it was a reasonable place to go in, and that's why I've got this trade on right at this moment. So got 3 contracts on. Let me just make this a little bit bigger so you can see it more clearly. And you can see where we topped out at the high of the day. So let me just move this over and let it go. Now I can get right under this trade, this bottom right here. So I mean, this is your signal bar. It pulled back, and price is heading up. This is the top of the channel. I'm looking for a breakout recovery up to this area. I think this was an overshoot, but this is a pretty strong move down. So that's where I am here. So I can move my stop up under these ones right here, and I'll do so right at this area, and then move up. I mean, I can move up to 10 as well. So I've got 15 ticks off at 09. My entry is at 52.94, and looking to go higher in this regard. So this is what I'm doing, and just let it go. Okay, the first contract's gone. Still got my 2 contracts off. I'm hoping to retrace back to the up to 53.45. The high was 54.12 today, and I think it just kind of traded down. So with the news report was a big drawdown on oil, 7.1 million barrels, but there was a build on the gasoline and build on the distillate. So, those were both build. That's what drove prices down. So I've just got into this trade. I like this turnaround because I think it overshot. Whether it goes for the rest of the two contracts, I don't know, but I think it's reasonable, and so I'm going to be sitting this for the time being. Okay, I'm just adding this audio after the fact. Yes, this is the last part of the trade. The runner gets taken out at 53.58, and it's right here, and that's the end of it. Okay, bye for now.